So we are in week 6. Wow, time really is flying. So it's week 6, um, looking into discussion 1. And discussion 1 is really all about group communications. The task was to, um, analyze how communication in groups actually differs from individual communications. Um, Professor wanted to know, are there unique challenges to communicating with groups, and of course to provide some examples. So today I am going to respond to, let's see, I think I'm going to respond to Trent Taylor. Trent Taylor talks about communicating in groups actually differs from individual communication based on the amount of people contributing the idea or the final goal. So I thought that was interesting because, of course, we know communication is transmission. Actually receiving the information, and for the receiver to actually be able to process that information. So I do agree with that, Trent, that, if you're dealing with one person, you can actually speak to whatever their, feedback is. So if they're having difficulty discerning what your message or the content or context of your message, you can, pretty much give them some insight for that. But let's say you have 20 different people in the room or on the telephone call, and they all have different things that they're getting from your message. That can be a little tricky. So you've got to communicate in a lot of different ways, because you've got the hearer or the receiver of the messages. They could be visual people, so they like visual presentations. So if you're not actually face to face and doing a conference call and have nothing in front of them to look at, and you're just verbally communicating a message, that may be harder to discern than using a PowerPoint presentation or doing a video conferencing. So I think that's true. The one-on-one scenario, whether it's on the telephone, video conference, or in person, you've only got that one situation to deal with, where you could potentially have a dozen or half a dozen people to talk to. So I think that's good. You do say, Trent, that the benefits of the one-on-one interaction is that you actually get a better understanding of the person you're speaking with, and it's easier to have a positive dialogue. Well, I think you can have a positive dialogue in a group dynamic too, if you kind of know at least who your audience is. And what I mean by that is, when you're talking about a group, are they from the same industry? Do they have similar backgrounds? I think you can kind of get that information up front, and that might help doing the group communications or the team communications. One of the other things I know it's different between the team and the group is, when I managed a team, I mean, they were my subordinates. So there's a different dynamic than maybe counterparts or people that maybe higher up than you, that you're communicating a presentation to in a group format. So you have to kind of make sure that you are a subject matter expert. That's what I do. Make sure that I know my subject, make sure I know what I'm talking about before I present it, and then to make sure that my points are really kind of clear and concise, and not too many. I've seen people do PowerPoint presentations with 10 bullet points, and you got a group of 100 people, and they're like, wait a minute, what? I'm lost. So keep it to a minimum is what I would recommend. So, but I enjoyed reading your posts, and I think you're right on track with your assessment about the difference between individual communication and group communication. So good luck, Trent, and we made it. It's the end of the week. Bye-bye.